I finally got a Saab. Let's talk about it right after this. Hey everyone, welcome to Carrie's Garage, and today we're going to talk about my new car. Old car, but new to me. It's a 1972 Saab 95, so it is the station wagon, the two-door wagon. Weirdly enough, of all the cars I've ever owned, I have yet to own a Saab, so this is actually my first Saab, and it's kind of a really cool one to have. Now, I really wanted the two-stroke car. At some point, I'll still get a two-stroke, but this one has the V4, which is a great setup, and it makes it a little bit of a better driver, honestly. But how this whole deal ended up working out really was fantastic, and now I've got this really cool car. And weirdly enough, it runs and drives, which for me, kind of is not the norm. But anyways, before we really start looking around the car, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're slowly growing it, and like I say, I've got plenty of projects. And I also have a Patreon. Information is down in the description below. Any little bit helps, buying parts and stuff for these cars and is greatly appreciated. So let's walk around the Saab and talk about it. First thing you probably see is it has a set of what they refer to as the soccer ball alloy wheels. Those are actually off of a Saab Sonnet. My friend that I got the car from had put those wheels on. It's a little rough around the edges, honestly. It does need a few things, but as a decent driver, that is fairly complete, and yeah, kind of pretty much how I like it. It's not super nice. I can enjoy it and not stress out about anything bad happening to it. But of all the Saabs of this era to get, I mean, the wagon is just so cool. See right there on the back, the V4 logo. We'll take a look at the engine here in a little bit. It's got this roof rack up top that is kind of homemade-ish, but hey, it works and it kind of looks cool. And we go to the back, we'll open up the tailgate. And wildly enough, it has the third seat in the back that faces backwards, kind of like my Roadmaster wagon. Another really interesting thing about this car, how the rear quarter windows open, they actually pivot inwards instead of, pop outs like most wagons or vehicles of this kind of style. So that's really interesting. We go to the interior. It doesn't have any carpet. It's got some sound deadening on it, and it's got the speedometer, temp gauge, fuel tank, sending unit, show you fuel level. And then my friend put in this external temp gauge and voltmeter just to, for accuracy. And then in Saab fashion, it has all these really just buttons, and sometimes you got to kind of decipher, fan, headlights. You got kind of heater controls here. It does have the Saab clock, which unfortunately does not work. One of the weird things is if this car had a radio, that's what this hole is, but when you open the glove box, the radio would be here with this cutout based off the glove box. But check this out, this is the really cool part. It actually still has its owner's manual. I love stuff like this. And then another really interesting thing is it has a 4-speed column shift manual gearbox. So it's not 3 on the tree, it's actually 4 on the tree. Got some fresh air vents here. This is also a really cool thing if you look on the sun visors. It's Saab safety sun visor, and then it's in Swedish, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce that and butcher it, because I definitely will, but that's kind of a really cool touch. And if you look in different parts, like in the fuel gauge right here, it's got the Saab with the airplane, because Saab was a airplane manufacturer, so you got those kind of like little Saab Easter eggs in this car. And then it does have a seat back here. Overall in all, a fairly roomy car. So now, let's take a look at the engine. Set you up on the tripod for opening it, because it is a very fascinating clamshell style hood that when you open it, it's something. And here we have the 1.7 liter V4. This is actually a German Ford Taunus engine. I'm probably butchering that name, sorry. It's front wheel drive, so the engine sits here, the transmission, transaxle sits right there. It does still have the freewheeling, which is taken from the era of the two-stroke cars. This is a later style, so it has the radiator up front. The two-stroke, the early cars actually had a radiator right here. We'll take a look eventually at my friend's two-stroke that has that set up. As much as I really, really want a two-stroke, and someday I'll find one. There's actually one for sale locally, but it needs a lot of work, and I really don't need any more crazy projects. But this is really easy because it's a four-stroke. It has oil in the crankcase. You put gas in it, you drive. You don't have to worry about premix or, an auto oiling system. But the two-strokes do sound so cool. But anyways, another thing that my friend that I got the car from actually did some custom work on the intake manifold and put this Weber 2-barrel in it instead of the original 1-barrel, and it actually does make it drive a little bit nicer. It's kind of peppy. I got you on the tripod again, and we'll start it up and show you how the engine runs, and then we'll take it for a little drive up and down my road. At some point, one of the things I need to fix, because it has a different carburetor on it, it has this linkage, which I need to do some tweaks to it. It's not quite set up right, so the throttle response is a little goofy, but it works and it runs. Maybe close the hood. Just like that. Now let's go take it for a little drive. Now, unfortunately, today we really can't take it out on the open road, yet I still need to get the paperwork transferred to my name and get it registered. And around here where I live, if you really don't have a current tag or some paperwork, the cops are a little fussy. But we'll drive up and down my road a little bit and show you the shifter, because it's kind of a goofy design. But it's a cool car. All right, so shifter, I gotta show you where reverse is at, because it's pretty wild. So got first, second, third, fourth, but to go into reverse, you pull the shifter out, pull it back and down, and we're in reverse. Let's centralize it, put it in first, and let's nice driving, comfortable little car. I've always really admired this era of the Saabs and really always wanted one, but the opportunity has never really been there, or they've been far too expensive. And then this one came about, and I am super excited that I got this car. And once I do get it registered into my name, we can take it out on the actual open road. We'll do a little bit more of an in-depth driving tour of the car, because I do really look forward to starting to drive this car. You know, on the dirt road, it's a little noisy, but being able to go cruise this thing around is going to be a lot of fun. All right, well, there you go. There is my new to me 1972 Saab 95 Wagon. So like I say, once I get paperwork sorted out, we'll do a bit more than in-depth driving review, because I really want to drive it around. It's kind of cool. But anyways, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you on the next one.